Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp. is a Canadian-based mineral exploration project generator. The company currently holds multiple property interests in Ontario with joint venture partners and is seeking further joint venture partners for other drill-ready properties in our portfolio. For more information, please visit our website at rmroyalty.com or call me at 604-922-2030.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is market historian Bob Hoye. He's the chief investment strategist for chartsandmarkets.com. Welcome back to the show, Bob.
Yeah, hi, Jim. Here it is. And it's Wednesday, not Friday, but we're advancing things this week.
Yes, in light of the Easter long weekend, so people can have a chance to get the show in advance and then listen at their leisure. Bob, what's your take on Jason Kenney's United Progressive Conservative Party winning the Alberta election? Was that inevitable?
Well, yes, but I'm telling you, last week I was doubtful in watching it because, the persuasive abilities of the left are amazing, and the media is overwhelming almost. But it took some organization. He put together two supposedly conservative parties, so that was a good step, and ended up winning a good majority. And I looked at his address upon winning, and they're going to be combative. They are going to continue to say that the carbon taxing is nonsense. They are setting up I think he called it a war room, with some funding to directly counter the Rockefellers and Soros money that goes into various agencies and institutions to work against natural resources in Canada. And some have thought that perhaps the Rockefellers or Foundation is trying to boost and protect the American oil business by shutting down the petroleum business in Canada, but I don't think so. I think what it is that Canada is a weak sister, and the campaign would be effective. So, and it has been effective, but when you want to take a look at the growing opposition at the electoral level, and that goes back to last year's win by a Conservative Party in the province of Ontario, and then you had the advance of a Conservative Party in the province of Quebec, and then now you've got this one, and the strength is going against Trudeau and the federal government that are out to destroy the Canadian economy. I mean, this guy Trudeau last year voiced his concerns about pipeline construction because construction workers have the problem of toxic masculinity, and it would be dreadful to have those people into some of the smaller communities in the West. But no, and also Trudeau is noted that he believes the communist running of China is a good thing because, they're dedicated and can get things done. And so, I mean, this guy is been a good salesman like Obama was for out-and-out socialism, but wonderfully, the tide is changing against socialists, and they've had incredible power with the mainstream media both in Canada and the U.S. and certainly Europe. Of course, England's been crazy with it, with global warming things as well. So, anyways, the election is more than just a win for the voters in Alberta. It is a step towards ending the incredible experiment in authoritarian government that has been so pervasive and so winning until lately. So before the election, I was thinking, if Alberta wins, that is very constructive for our federal election in Canada in October. And now it looks, I think, the Conservative movement has got some momentum here, and I think it will defeat Trudeau and the Liberals in October. Now, then that also sets up a chain of events that's leading to the U.S. Big election in November of 2020. So, Jim, it looks very constructive to me. And if I was a socialist, I'd be feeling rather precarious. But I'm looking and I keep saying it's great to be vertical and alert.
Well, in Kenney's speech, and he was good at pounding this message home, it worked for Bill Clinton, and his message was economy, jobs, and pipelines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something pretty simple for people to understand, and what the rest of the country doesn't get is the pain Alberta's going through with record unemployment. A place where I remember a time when there was nothing but job or help wanted signs throughout Edmonton and Calgary. The cities were just papered with them.
People in Newfoundland that had learned the oil business from the offshore there, they were working in Alberta and coming back to Newfoundland and buying pickup trucks. So they were even turning Newfoundland into a western province. And then that's ended. So, but it's beyond a local success. It is against this incredible drive that everything has to be politicized. The economy, human behavior, families, everything has to be politicized. And it's what I've been calling ending action. You've had highly speculative financial markets that, if you look at the bigger picture, is probably in ending action, because bull markets, although they don't really make it to the sky. And then the other one is the incredible energy seen with the left in Canada and particularly in the U.S., where there have been 3 very radical young Democrats elected to the House. And they are like you're buying a highly speculative stock, within the final 10% of the top. It's very radical and very dangerous stuff. So they are pushing a program that will divide the Democrat Party, and a divided party finds it very difficult to win. So, as I say, Jim, this is very constructive going on, step by step, but it's part of a big play that we can call ending action, where, in this case, the left has become so radical that much of it will be rejected by a rank-and-file ordinary voter. Even the union people, the leaders may endorse the Democrats, but the rank-and-file, the regular people in the unions, they're not going to go for this stuff. The left has been winning for a long time, and it's dividing, and it's also part of ending action. So it is fascinating to watch.
We'll have more with Bob Hoye right after this.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications, patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp, MGI and the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected several high-grade gold intersections, including 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. Additional drill targets on the LH property have been identified by a 2018 drone airborne magnetic survey to further evaluate a pyrrhotite-enriched gold-bearing system. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Bob Hoye. Bob, the CEO of the Royal Bank of Canada, recently made a speech, and he was highly critical of federal government policy, saying over the last 2 years, Canada has lost at least $100 billion in lost energy projects.
Oh, I can believe that number. And, of course, Alberta's been suffered the unemployment. But in Alberta, those working for the provincial government, I think they added 20,000 people or something like that. So, but it's interesting that the head of the Royal Bank has become critical like this. Often, for decades, the big companies have contributed a lot to the Liberal Party, the federal Liberal Party of Canada, hoping to get an easy shake from them, but that had never really worked. The only way you can get a fair shake for business from government is to have actually a real conservative government. And so the head guy at the big bank saying this is a very important step, I think.
Right. So, Trudeau, started off, I think, strong. I listed he had something like 175 promises, and I ticked off about 100 of them. They're mostly minor things, but he was very quick to take action. And then on some very basic things like, I will balance the budget by 2019. Well, he certainly didn't. I'll treat women and Aboriginal women with respect, and then we see Jody Wilson-Raybould getting what didn't seem to be all that respectful treatment. Cracks in the system. And then the SNC-Lavalin thing where you crafted a law that seems to give obvious lawbreakers a giant break.
Yeah, it was typical stuff by intrusive governments who always believe that they're acting in the best interest of the public. But the thing that's interesting is that the Liberals and their mainstream media were unable to make the engineering company scandal disappear. It kept coming up and coming up. So, and even the state-run Broadcasting Corp Canada, CBC, has been reporting on the Liberal scandal quite regularly and quite straightforwardly. And I got thinking about that, because the mainstream media in Canada, the U.S., won't report straight up on the Republican Party in the U.S. But what is going on, of course, it's not that you've had a conversion to honest reporting by these agencies in Canada. It's that in Canada they have the backup with the federal NDP, New Democratic Party, which, of course, is the Socialist Party. So it looks like the mainstream media in Canada is abandoning the Liberals and, of course, hoping then to have the NDP set up. But, of course, yesterday's election in Alberta may be a sign on that success. But at any rate, the main thing is that there's honest criticism continuing of the federal Liberal Party, and this is quite rare. And I'm sure it'll keep going because, as I said, the Liberal media in Canada, the mainstream media, they've got their backup party with the New Democratic Party, the Socialist Party. So this is another facet of politics that'll be interesting to watch, how the media, if it continues to report honestly about the federal Liberal Party. Who knows whether they will, but it's fascinating to watch.
Well, Trudeau gave the mainstream media nearly $600 million to stop their bleeding of red ink. However, do you think he might have also been trying to buy more positive media coverage?
Oh, yeah. Now, that one was really stupid because he had the media anyways. So, and then, of course, comes the scandal, and the media is not really cooperating with him that much. So, as I said, because the media have an alternative with the NDP. So, a fascinating study.
We'll have more with Bob Hoye right after this.
Arctic Star Exploration, operated by a team of proven mine finders, is focused on diamonds in Finland and the Northwest Territories of Canada. Work programs are underway in Finland and Canada. Arctic Star trades on the TSX Venture Exchange symbol ADD, on Frankfurt symbol 82A1, and the OTCQB symbol ASDZF. Please visit our website arcticstar.ca or call us at 604-689-1799.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Bob Hoye. Bob, are the U.S. equity markets going to set new highs?
Well, you've got the very important fundamental, or not a fundamental, but a technical, with the stock market, and that's the number of stocks that are advancing and the number of stocks that are declining. We call it the advanced decline line, and it has set new highs. And with the ADs, they have a tendency to lead market moves. So if you have the ADs making new highs, it implies that the senior indexes could make new highs. But I'm not certain on that. What we have had is we're looking for a rally to, out of the very oversold condition at Christmas, looking for a rally to run out to around March. And we've had that. It's been supported by, we also were looking for a rally in base metals and in crude oil. So we've had that. So it's turned out to be the best quarter in the U.S. stock market in ages. But the big market there, the New York Stock Exchange Composite, it set its huge momentum high in January 2018 at, here it is, 13,600, and then it sold off at Christmas down to 10,700, then 300 points, and then now it's up to almost to 13,000. So it's hard to say, but this New York Stock Exchange comp is like a 1,700 item index. You got the S&P 500 with 500, and you got the Dow Industrials with 30. Now the Dow Industrials and the S&P are dominated by stocks that institutions position, as they're the big companies, and so they may have enough enthusiasm and buying power to drive those two indexes to new highs, but we want to watch the NYSE comp. Now, what we're looking at technically here now is the rush has created an overbought condition, And we know that the valuations at last year's high were exceptionally high valuations, and the economy is no longer, going straight up. There are some indications that it's cooling a bit. So that makes the valuation side rather precarious. And then the sentiment side has been good. A number of bulls out there is terrific. So we'll just say it's up when it should be, and our targets have been essentially met. On looking for a probable reversal, the interest rates, the credit spreads, can have a seasonal positive into May, and they have been acting positively recently. The street, Wall Street, is all upset about the yield curve, which of course is the difference between long rates and short-dated rates, whereby at the end of a boom, the curve inverts with short rates rising higher than long rates. It's a function of speculation in the credit markets, and you get it at or near the peak of every business cycle and stock market cycle. And as we noted last year on our chart on the U.S. yield curve back to 1857, is that you don't really need to have the curve inverted, which is what we talked about last summer. It just has to reverse and change directions to say, hey, things are changing, and we did get that dramatic washout into Christmas last year without the curve inverting. So now the curve did invert, and that's a danger sign, and it won't go away. It's happened. It's indelible. Like they say for the tattoo machine, there's no eraser for it. So we are looking at a market that has again become vulnerable, and I would say that the market has given us another opportunity to raise some liquidity, which we noted last summer. So when do things go wrong? When you are in an excited market, and it's the excited market that's vulnerable. So, typically after mid-year you can get, then you start looking at industrial commodities whereby you can have a seasonal low in December, January. And you also start looking at the credit markets, which can be benign into mid-year. And then after mid-year, if you're in a speculative year, then the seasonal turn in credit markets to adversity, it can be a killer. So I'm not going to extrapolate this move. That's the part for regular investment research. We always look for the probability of change, and this is what we'll keep our eye on.
Bob, thank you so much for being on the show.
Jim, good to be with you, and look forward to next week.
My guest has been market historian Bob Hoye. He's the chief investment strategist for chartsandmarkets.com. Find us on Twitter at HowStreet. You can forward questions to Bob to info@howstreet.com, our YouTube channel, Talk Digital Network. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.